The stars were quiet. The dark space around Earth was calm. But deep inside that calm, something evil was coming. The Zytraxian Empire had watched Earth for many years. From far space, they listened to human messages. They watched human satellites, human wars, human peace talks. Everything seemed simple to them. Earth was just another weak planet. Zytraxians were not kind. They were cold, logical, and cruel. They did not believe in feelings. They believed in power, fear, and control. One day, their leader, Supreme Commander Vale, pointed to the blue planet on his giant screen. "Begin the test," he said. His voice was deep and sharp like broken metal. The alien generals nodded. "We will strike a small human ship. Watch their reaction. If they cry, they are weak. If they hide, they are finished." And so the plan began. A peaceful ship captain Rayan stood on the edge of his research ship called Solace. It was not a warship. It was a science ship. Rayan and his crew were studying the moon's surface. They had found strange rock patterns, maybe signs of old space life. His crew was small but close. There was Mira, the clever engineer with short red hair and fast hands. There was Kenzo, the pilot, who always had music playing in his helmet. And there was Sarah, the communication expert, who smiled even in danger. Rayan loved them like family. At that moment, everything was peaceful. Calm stars, slow orbits, light music in the background. Then the alarm rang. Unidentified object approaching fast. Sarah shouted, "Speed, Mach 80. No IFF signal. It's not human." Rayan jumped to the screen. He saw the shape. It was black, sharp, and strange. Too fast, too quiet, not natural, not friendly. "Shields up," he ordered. But it was too late. The first strike. The Zytraxian ship fired one beam. Just one. It hit Solace like a silent sword. The whole ship shook. Fire and sparks flew in every direction. Rayan fell. He heard Mira screaming. The hallway split in half. Flames danced in zero gravity. "We're hit. The hull is breaking. We lost engine control." Rayan tried to stand, blood on his forehead, smoke in his lungs. He ran toward the control room. Through fire, broken wires, and dying lights, he saw Kenzo crushed under a pipe. Mira was gone. Only her bracelet was floating. Only Sarah's voice came through the speaker. "Rayan, the escape pods are gone. I'm trapped." Silence. Then the lights died. One survivor, Rayan, woke up hours later. He was floating in a small alien shuttle. Everything around him looked strange. The controls were not human. The symbols were glowing green in a language he didn't understand. He looked down at his arm. Someone had bandaged it. Not human bandage, alien tech. Why am I alive? Then he remembered. In the last second, he saw a door open in the Zytraxian ship. He had jumped in, holding his breath. The escape pods were destroyed. His ship was falling apart. He had done the only thing left. He invaded the invaders' ship. And somehow he survived. He was now flying in a stolen Zytraxian scout ship. A message of fire rain saw Earth far away. He knew he had to send a message. He found a small terminal and began pressing symbols randomly. Sparks came out. The screen blinked. He connected his own wrist computer to it. It was risky. Maybe it would fry his device. But he had no choice. He typed a single message, short, sharp, loud. "Earth is not alone. We are under attack. They killed everyone. They think we are weak. They made a mistake. They left one of us alive." He sent it to all human frequencies. Open channel. Then he sat back, breathing heavy, thinking about his friends, about Sarah's last breath, Mira's bracelet. His hand shook, but his voice was calm. "You killed the wrong man." The alien discussion far away, in Zytraxian HQ, a screen lit up. Rayan's face appeared. His message echoed in their cold halls. The alien generals looked at each other. He survived. Impossible. Humans are not capable. We left no evidence. But the message was clear. And it was now being watched across human space. Supreme Commander Vale narrowed his eyes. He is just one. He will die in time. Another general asked, should we erase the message? Vale shook his head. Let them hope. Hope is the best. Bait, but deep inside, something in Vale's voice shook. Just a little. Something he hadn't felt in 1,000 years. Human response back on Earth. The leaders of Earth Space Defense Council, ESDC, watched the message. It played again and again. Every word. Every second. People stopped in streets. TV screens across cities showed Rayan's face. Newspapers read, alien attack confirmed. One survivor vows revenge. General Lawson of Earth's Defense Force said, we must prepare for war. But others were unsure. Some still doubted the message. Maybe it's a trick. Maybe he went mad. But the public believed. The people felt it in their hearts. A human was out there, alone, fighting. Rayan became more than a survivor. He became a symbol. The hunt begins inside the stolen alien ship. Rayan was learning. He studied every part of the ship. He took notes. He recorded the way the buttons responded. He saw how energy flowed, how power worked. He even learned how the ship thought. It had a low-level AI system, primitive, cold, but alive. Rayan hacked it slowly, step by step, line by line. He gave it a name, Ghost. Now he had a partner. Ghost, he said, track the Zytraxian base. The ship beeped. Coordinates appeared. There was a Zytraxian supply post nearby. Small, weak, vulnerable, perfect for a test. Rayan smiled, but his eyes were empty. Let's see how you handle a human weapon. Fear spreads in the Zytraxian supply post. Life was normal. Alien workers moved crates. No guards were watching the stars. Suddenly, alarms screamed. Something entered the sky. Fast. Unregistered. Angry. Before they could respond, fire rained from above. The small post exploded in flames. Alien metal burned like paper. Rayan's stolen ship roared through the sky. Precise. Deadly. No warnings. No mercy. 10 minutes later, silence. Only smoke. The Zytraxian Central Command got the report. One human ship. One attacker. No survivors. Supreme. Commander Vale crushed his metal glass in rage. Send hunters. I want him dead. But in his heart, he knew something terrible had started. Final scene. The broadcast Rayan stood in his ship. Ghost screen lit up with human faces. People across Earth, Mars, the Moon, and even Jupiter's colonies were watching. He clicked the mic. My name is Captain Rayan. They attacked us without warning. They killed my friends. They called us weak, but we are not weak. We are not alone. And we never forget. He looked into the camera. His voice was strong, cold, human. To the Zytraxians, you chose the wrong planet. Now, I choose war. The signal cut. In the darkness of space, Captain Rayan floated in silence. The stars looked peaceful, but his heart was not. He had survived the alien attack. His friends were gone. His ship was destroyed. Earth was still blind. But he was alive. Inside the small, stolen Zytraxian shuttle, Rayan sat alone. The lights were dim. The air was cold. The only sound was the hum of the engine. He looked at the strange controls. Alien symbols blinked in green. He didn't understand most of them, but slowly he was learning. Rayan was not a soldier. He was a scientist, a captain of a research crew. But now, that part of him was dead. Something else was growing inside. Anger. Learning. The enemy Rayan opened the main panel again. For the 5th time that day. Okay, he whispered. This controls the shield. This connects to the energy core. This one is a weapon system. Maybe. He wrote everything in his wrist computer. His notes were growing fast. The more he learned, the more he understood how different and dangerous the Zytraxians really were. Their technology was advanced, yes, but it had patterns, logic. It could be learned. And if it could be learned, it could be used against them. Rayan remembered something Sarah once told him. Your brain is your best weapon. Now that weapon was waking up. Ghost becomes real. The shuttle's AI was basic, a half-alive system that ran the ship. Rayan renamed it Ghost, after his old dog. Ghost, he said. Can you understand my voice? A flat tone replied, Zytraxian. Command not recognized. Rayan tried again. Forget Zytraxian command. Use human logic. There was a pause. Then, processing. Adapting, logic pattern detected. Hello, human. Rayan smiled. That was the moment the ship truly became his. Now he had a co-pilot. A hidden signal while searching the ship's system. Rayan found something strange, a data file. Hidden deep. In the logs. It was a video. Recorded from the Zytraxian warship just before they attacked the Solace. Rayan played it. On the screen, he saw Zytraxian commanders laughing, or their version of laughing, while watching Earth's peaceful research. Ships. One said, this planet is so slow, so soft, they still argue over who leads. Their weapons are toys, they won't even know we struck. Another replied, let's kill a few, leave the rest. Study their reaction. Fear is a better tool than war. Rayan's jaw tightened. His fingers clenched. They didn't attack by mistake. They planned it. They wanted to test humans like animals. Now, the experiment was over. It was time for the real test, the human response. The flashbacks. Rayan couldn't sleep. Each time he closed his eyes, he saw their faces. Mira laughing during lunch, her eyes bright. Kenzo playing guitar in the cargo bay. Sarah spinning in zero gravity, smiling. He remembered their voices, their warmth, their dreams. Gone in seconds. I'm sorry, he whispered into the dark. But then he stood up. He walked to the front panel. He looked at the stars ahead. I will not cry for you. I will fight for you. Finding the enemy. Rayan and Ghost worked together every hour. No rest, no fear. Soon, they found something, a hidden Zytraxian supply. Outpost floating near a dead moon. It was small, unguarded, and connected to a bigger base, maybe a fuel line or relay. Rayan smiled. Let's start here. The first step of Revenger. Rayan didn't want to attack blindly. He wanted to send a message. He landed quietly, using the Zytraxian codes. Ghost helped mask the ship's signal. No one noticed until it was too late. Rayan walked in. His body was shaking, but his eyes were focused. He wore a half-broken spacesuit. In one hand, a stolen alien blaster. In the other, a device he made from human tools and Zytraxian tech, a hybrid EMP grenade. He planted it in the main power room. Then he spoke into the alien speakers. You hurt the wrong planet. Now I hurt back. He ran. 10 seconds later, the outpost exploded in a flash of blue fire. Half of it was gone. Rayan flew away, fast. But he left one small thing behind. A chip with his message. In simple Zytraxian code. We are not your prey. We are your nightmare. Zytraxian reaction. The explosion reached the central command within an hour. Zytraxian generals watched the report. In silence, one said, one human did this. Another, he's using our tech. He's learning fast. Commander Vale stood up. This ends now. Find him. I want him alive. I want to know how his mind works. They sent hunter drones, deadly. Silent machines. Faster than light. Smarter than ships. Built for one job, to erase problems. Rayan became Target Alpha. A message to Earthrain knew Earth had received his first broadcast. But now, it was time for the second. He opened the COM panel and began to speak. His voice was calm, but full of fire. Earth. This is Captain Rayan. If you're hearing this, know I'm alive. Know that they started a war. And know that I will not stop until it ends. This is not just revenge. This is justice. His message traveled across Earth networks. Colonies, space stations. People stopped working to listen. Some cried. Some clenched their fists. A child whispered to her father, "Is that man going to save us?" The father said, "He already is." A new symbol back on Earth. Rayan's face became known. News channels played his video every hour. Artists painted murals of him across cities. Young cadets joined the Defense Force saying, "I want to fight like Captain Rayan." Even the Earth leaders, once divided, now met under one roof, for the first time in decades. Humanity felt united. All because one man refused to die. Ghost gets upgraded. Rayan began modifying Ghost. He added human interface tools, stronger weapons, and a new shield system based on Earth's tech. He also made Ghost speak in a more natural tone. It sounded almost human. "Captain," Ghost said one day, "if I may ask, why do you fight alone?" Rayan paused, then said, "Because sometimes change begins with one." Ghost replied, "Then let us change everything." The drones are coming far across space. The Zytraxian hunters located Rayan's trail. His energy signature, his modified ship, his attack style. They followed like shadows. Back on the stolen ship, Ghost warned, "Captain, multiple enemy crafts detected. Estimated arrival, 12 minutes. Rayan didn't flinch. "Then we welcome them." He grabbed his gear, charged the weapons, and whispered, "Let's show them what surviving means." Final scene, a deadly cliffhanger outside the ship. Blackness. Silence. Then, 3 sharp shapes appeared in space. Zytraxian hunters. Rayan looked out the window. His hands were steady. "Inside the ship," Ghost said. "They outnumber us." Rayan replied, "Good. That means less time finding them." The engines roared. The stars spun. A battle was coming, but the survivor was ready. Space was no longer quiet. Rayan had been a scientist once. Now, he was a weapon. The stolen Zytraxian shuttle, now upgraded and renamed Ghost, floated in silence near a dark asteroid belt. But silence didn't mean safety. Behind that silence, death was coming. 3 Zytraxian hunter drones had locked onto Rayan's trail, built for assassination. Faster than anything on Earth, controlled by pure machine logic. No warnings. No second chances. Ghost's warning inside the ship. Lights flashed. Red. Ghost's voice spoke, calm but urgent. 3 hostile crafts approaching. Attack formation confirmed. Distance, 50,000 kilometers and closing. Rayan's hands moved fast across the alien controls. His new modifications were working. The human Earth system was now blended with Zytraxian code. The screen lit up with new data. Trajectory, speed, weak points, fire range. "Let's see how smart they really are." Rayan muttered. The chase begins. Rayan didn't run. Instead, he flew straight toward the drones. Ghost hesitated. "Captain, your current path is suicidal." "Only if I fly normal," Rayan said. He pushed the ship through a narrow asteroid field. Spinning rocks the size of cars moved in every direction. One mistake equals instant death. The drones followed. Fast and perfect. But Rayan had something they didn't: instinct. He flipped the ship sideways, scraped through a narrow gap between 2 tumbling rocks, then fired backward, a mine made from Zytraxian scraps. Boom. The first drone exploded in a flash of metal and green fire. Ghost beeped. 1 eliminated. 2 remain. Your tactics are unpredictable, Rayan smiled. Get used to it. The truck. Rayan flew into a deeper cave, a hollow asteroid he had scanned earlier. Inside, it was like a maze. Tight turns, no light. No GPS, the two remaining. Drones entered without hesitation, but Rayan had prepared something. He had set small gravity bombs inside the cave using stolen Zytraxian gravtech. When triggered, the field would bend space just enough to confuse sensors. The moment the drones came close, boom, their systems went blind. Rayan turned Ghost around and fired 2 rapid shots from his new rail cannon. Direct hits. The second drone blew up. The third tried to escape, but Rayan chased it down. No one leaves, he said. With one final blast, the drone shattered into floating metal pieces. Silence again inside the ship. All lights went calm. Ghost spoke again, now with a voice that sounded almost impressed. 3 enemies destroyed. Captain, your success rate is abnormal. Rayan leaned back, breathing heavy. It's not about success, he said. It's about survival. Then his eyes hardened. And now, it's about payback. What Earth was doing back on Earth. The Defense Council was moving fast. Rayan's attacks had confirmed the alien threat. The public was alert. New ships were being built. Old weapons were upgraded. People from every country sent messages to space. We're with you, Captain Rayan. You are not alone. Make them regret it. But Rayan was too far away to hear them. He wasn't fighting for medals or speeches. He was fighting for the right to exist. A dangerous Iderian studied the wreckage of the drones he destroyed. He floated in space with his suit, collecting parts. Alien metal, energy cores, control chips. Ghost, he asked, can we rebuild one of these? Ghost replied, functionally possible. Ethically unknown. Rayan nodded. Then we try. If I can understand how their machines think, I can beat them before they move. He took the pieces into the cargo bay and began working. For 2 days, he didn't sleep. Only water. Only work. He built a new hybrid, half drone, half human AI. It looked like a spider, but sharper, smaller, fast. He named it Echo. Comes alive when Echo powered on. Its red eye blinked once. Then again. Rayan watched it carefully. Do you understand me? He asked. Echo turned toward him, then blinked twice. Rayan smiled. Good. You're not a weapon. You're a scout. You find them. I stop them. Echo beeped once, then zipped through the air like a shadow. The bigger enemy Echo returned after 12 hours. It had found something. A Zytraxian relay station hidden behind a small ice moon. It wasn't armed, but it was important. It sent messages to the main fleet. Rayan looked at the data. This station could tell us where their home base is, he said. He had a plan. The infiltration rain didn't attack the relay station. He sneaked in. He wore stolen Zytraxian armor, covered his face, lowered his life signs. Echo went ahead, hacking door codes. They moved through dark halls, past strange green lights and floating machines. Inside the core room, Rayan connected his wrist computer. He copied everything. Base locations, ship blueprints, language protocols, internal Zytraxian messages. Then he did one more thing. He planted a virus. A simple code, not to destroy, but to confuse. A virus that made Zytraxian ships send the wrong coordinates. A virus that made their sensors see enemies where there were none. Then he left, quiet as a ghost. Vale gets the news back in the Zytraxian War Command. Alarms rang. Relays down. Data corrupted. All ships reporting sensor failures. Supreme Commander Vale rose from his throne. He was calm, but his teeth were grinding. One human is doing all this? He asked. No one answered. Then he spoke the words no Zytraxian had spoken in 1,000 years. I want a ceasefire meeting. Gasps. But Commander, he raised his hand. We must understand this species before we destroy it. Earth gets the signal 2 days later. Earth's satellites picked up a strange signal. A simple message. One of us wishes to speak. Send your representative. General Lawson read it twice. This is your work, Rayan, he whispered. He looked at the sky. Time to talk. Rayan's decision ghost played the message for Rayan. Rayan was silent. Then, they killed my friends. And now they want to talk? Ghost replied. Tactically, this is progress. Peace may be possible. Rayan shook his head. It's not peace they want, it's fear control, but fine, let's meet. He opened a direct signal to Earth. This is Captain Rayan. I will attend the meeting. But I don't go as a guest. I go as a warning. Final scene. The meeting point location was chosen. A neutral zone near Saturn's rings. One human ship. One Zytraxian ship. Rayan stood at the bridge, wearing black armor with Earth's symbol. He didn't smile. Ghost's voice spoke. You're not the man who left Earth. Rayan replied, No, I'm something new. As the two ships approached each other, silence filled the stars. A door opened. A figure stepped forward, not human. Not friendly. Rayan took one step forward too. Face to face with the enemy, and this was only the beginning. The meeting zone Saturn's rings sparkled below Dot in the silent vacuum between its moons. Two ships floated, one human, one alien. No weapons were active, but everyone was ready to fight. Inside the human vessel, Captain Rayan stood on the bridge. He wore his black armor, his face hard and unreadable. Ghost, he said. Status? Ghost replied. All systems ready. No enemy movement. Zytraxian ship requesting boarding sequence. Rayan took a breath. Let them come. But scan everything. I don't trust them. A door opens on the alien ship. Commander Vale moved toward the docking chamber. He was taller than a human. His skin was gray-blue, his eyes dark and sharp. He wore armor made of thin metal plates that moved like water. Two smaller Zytraxians followed, bodyguards or scientists. It was hard to tell. Val spoke in a low voice. Do not provoke. Watch, listen, learn how he thinks. Then he entered. The human ship. First contact. Rayan stood waiting. The door hissed open. Vale stepped in. The room fell silent. Rayan didn't flinch. Didn't speak first. Vale studied him, then said, You are smaller than I expected. Rayan's eyes narrowed. You're uglier than I hoped. Silence. Then Vale smiled. Or something like a smile. Humor. Good. That means fear hasn't destroyed you. Rayan replied, I stopped fearing your kind the moment I saw what you did to my crew. Vale raised one finger. We test what we wish to understand. If your people had power, would they not do the same? Rayan stepped forward. We don't destroy innocent lives for curiosity. You call it a test. I call it murder. The conversation begins. Both sides sat around a round table. Humans on one side, Zytraxians on the other. No weapons. Just minds. Val spoke first. Your people are not ready for this galaxy. You argue. You break. You are young. Rayan. Yet here I am, one of your own ships under my control. I've killed your hunters. I've cracked your code. Maybe you're the ones who aren't ready for us. Vale leaned forward. You are. Rare. That's why we talk. But what about the others? Will they be as clever, as strong? Rayan stared back. You lit a fire in us. You don't know what we become when we burn. A strange offer. Vale spoke again, this time slowly. We do not fear war. We've ended thousands, but your kind, you think differently. Emotion fuels you. Sometimes that is more dangerous than fire. Rayan, then stop poking it. Vale gave a nod. Perhaps we can offer a test. One system, one colony. We give it to you. Show us what humanity does with it. If you succeed, perhaps, peace. Rayan's eyes narrowed. A test again. Always a test. You want me to take your game and play by your rules? Vale replied. Is that not what you've been doing? Hidden motives. Back inside the ghost control room. Echo, Rayan's mini-hybrid drone. quietly scanned the ZY to RAX, IAN no signals, no weapons. But something was strange. Echo beeped quietly in Rayan's ear implant. Unknown biological signature detected. One Zytraxian is not what it seems. Rayan blinked once. His signal to Ghost. Track and confirm. Human. Minds think fast. Rain turned to Vale. Why now? Why meet? Why not just kill me? Vale's voice lowered. Because some of us fear you, not for what you are, but for what you represent. Rayan raised an eyebrow. A threat? Vale nodded. Double quotes. No. A future we cannot control. The twist suddenly. Ghost beeped loudly in Rayan's earpiece. Warning. Enemy signal spike. Zytraxian scientist is carrying a hidden neural virus. Targeting ship I. Rayan moved fast. He stood. Meeting's over, he said coldly. Vale stood too. Explain, Rayan. Raised his weapon. Your guest tried to infect my ship. That was your peace offer? The scientist Zytraxian froze. Echo jumped onto its back and shocked it with an EMP burst. The creature screamed, then dropped. Rayan didn't fire. He simply stared at Vale. This is why we don't trust monsters. A choice. Vale looked down at the fallen scientist. He didn't speak for a full 10 seconds. Then he said, he acted on his own, without permission. Rayan didn't believe that, but he didn't argue. He simply said, next time we don't talk. Vale looked at him one last time. Then turned and walked away. Earth reacts back on Earth. Rayan's report reached Global Command. Some called for peace. Others called for war. But the common voice among the people was simple. They lied. Rayan was right. Rayan's next move inside Ghost. Rayan removed the neural trap from the system. Ghost purged the infected code. Rayan sat alone, staring at the stars. Ghost asked, Captain, are we at war? Rayan didn't answer for a long time. Then he said, no, not yet. Not until we make the first strike. On their real base. Ghost replied, coordinates from the relay station match the largest Zytraxian shipyard. Deep in Sector 9, Rayan stood. Then we're going to pay them a visit. Final scene. Warpath. The Ghost ship powered up. Echo scanned the stars. Rayan loaded his hybrid weapons. Ghost locked in the new coordinates. Set course for Sector 9, Rayan ordered. As the stars shifted ahead, he whispered, they thought this was a talk. No. This was the last warning. Now we end this. Space isn't silent anymore. The stars once watched in silence. Now they burned. Ships moved through space near Sector 9, a forbidden zone known only to Zytraxians. Here, deep in a dark corner of the galaxy, floated their largest shipyard, base. Zarnok, invisible to normal eyes. Shielded. Protected. Until now. One ship approaches from far away. A single human ship flew in fast. Ghost. The hybrid warship stolen and upgraded by Captain Rayan. Cut through the darkness like a knife. Inside. Ghosts. Voice was calm. Target confirmed. Zytraxian shipyard, minus 240 active crafts, 14 war motherships, 1 command fortress. Rayan didn't blink. Good. Let's wake them up. Planning the striker. Rayan wasn't stupid. He didn't charge in. Instead, he ran simulations. His plan was not to destroy everything. His goal, cause panic. If he could hit them fast, hard, and escape. The Zytraxian Empire would fear him more than they feared war. Ghost, how many gravity torpedoes we got left? 7, all primed. Fitted with stealth detonators. Rayan nodded. Echo, you ready? The small spider drone blinked red, then zipped into a launch tube. Step 1. The distraction. Rayan said Echo first. The drone slipped through Zarnok's outer sensors, silent and cloaked. It landed on a power station tower. Then it injected a virus, a modified version of the one Rayan planted at the relay station. Within seconds, the Zytraxian base saw 300 false alerts. Enemy fleet approaching. Shields breached in sector. 4. Internal sabotage detected. Commanders panicked. Ships launched early. Turrets turned inward. Confusion spread like wildfire. That's when Rayan struck. Step 2. The torpedo rained from behind a dead moon. Ghost launched all 7 torpedoes. Each one flew in low, slow. An invisible dot then. Boom. Boom dot. They didn't destroy ships. They hit the base's fuel tanks, hangars, communication centers. Explosions lit up the sky like fireworks. Ghost reported. Damage confirmed. 41% of base functions offline. Chaos level extreme. Rayan grinned. Perfect. Time to say hello. The messenger Rayan opened a channel. He sent a simple transmission across all Zytraxian military bands. You came to my planet. You hurt my people. You tested our limits. Now I test yours. This isn't a war yet. But if you want one, we bring the fire. Then he cut the signal. Step 3. The escape is Zytraxian ships. Scrambled. 2 war cruisers locked onto Ghost. They chased at full speed. Rayan shouted, Ghost, go vertical burn. Engage warp edge in 6 seconds. Ghost's engines flared. The ship dove between 2 motherships, then flipped up at 90 degrees, a move Zytraxian pilots never expected. 1 cruiser crashed into another. The second kept chasing, but Rayan had a trick left. Echo dropped the void mine. Echo released a small black sphere, a compact gravity trap. As the cruiser neared it, the mine exploded silently. The ship vanished into itself. Crushed by its own pull, Ghost was gone before the explosion even ended. The fallout hours later, Vale stood inside the ruined control tower of Base Zarnok. Screens blinked red. Soldiers yelled reports. Sirens echoed. A general ran up. We were blind. All attacks precise. 1 human ship, 1 message. Vale stared at the stars. He wants us to feel fear, and we do. Then, slowly, he smiled. Good, now we give it back. Rayan's arrival. Rain jumped back to an asteroid hideout, one of his secret base locations. He stepped out of the ship. Armor burnt, jaw tight. Ghost spoke softly. Mission successful. You've changed the war. Rayan said nothing for a moment. Then, this isn't just war now, it's reputation. They thought humans were weak. Now they know we're angry. Earth reacts again. Back on Earth, the video Rayan broadcasted went viral. Every screen showed his face. His words, we bring the fire. People cheered. Protests stopped. Countries united. For the first time in decades, Earth was not divided. Factories turned into defense plants. Universities sent engineers to military labs. Scientists offered open-source upgrades for space warfare. A young girl from India posted, they made Rayan, we can make 10 more. But all was not safe. Late that night, as Rayan worked alone, Ghost spoke again. Captain, I found something disturbing. What is it? Rayan asked. Ghost projected a hidden Zytraxian signal, found deep inside the base's backup files. It was a message, one not meant for Zytraxians, but for someone else. Alien words translated slowly. Project Neuron 0 complete. Human response confirmed. Begin Phase 2. Status: the test subject believes he acts alone. Rayan stared. Wait, that message is about me. Ghost replied, yes, Captain. They may have wanted you to survive, at first. Rayan's blood went cold. The bigger game. What if I was never their enemy? Rayan said. What if I was their experiment? Ghost replied, possibility. You were part of a larger test, designed to measure human limits, emotion, anger, creativity. Rayan shook his head. No, I chose this. I made my own path. But deep down, something had changed. Was the fire truly his? Or something they lit on purpose? Final scene, the hidden eyes far away, in another galaxy. Unknown beings watched Rayan on a screen. Not Zytraxians, something older, wiser, cold. 1. Creature spoke in a strange voice. Phase 2 begins. The weapon has awakened. Another replied. Now, let us see what a human really becomes. The screen went black. A man without restraint couldn't sleep. Even after his attack on base Zarnuk, even after sending fear across the galaxy, his mind raced. The message Ghost found still echoed in his head. The test subject believes he acts alone. Rayan looked at his reflection in the ship window. For the first time in a long time, he didn't recognize himself. Questions that hurt. He walked into Ghost's main deck. Run a full scan on me, he said. Ghost replied. Scanning physical and neural. Patterns complete. Rayan asked slowly, Am I fully human? Silence. Then Ghost answered, No, Captain. Your biology contains anomalies. 3.4% unknown genetic material. Likely not Earth origin. Rayan's hands turned cold. He whispered, Did they put something inside me? Ghost, yes, likely during your capture on Zytrax Prime -7 months ago. Before your escape, Rayan remembered that place, the pain, the experiments. He had escaped thinking he won. Now, it looked like that was exactly what they wanted. Something awakened suddenly. Ghost's systems flashed. Warning, internal neural spike detected. You are emitting low-level quantum pulses, Rayan blinked. What does that mean? Ghost hesitated. Something inside you is waking up. Flashbacks not from him. Rayan grabbed his head. Memories rushed in, but they weren't his. Alien faces, endless halls, machines inserting something into a human brain. But he wasn't watching. He was inside one of those memories, like a camera. Recording. He saw himself strapped to a table. A Zytraxian voice spoke. Begin the weapon birth protocol. Let the human believe he escapes. Let the fire grow. Rayan screamed. And then, silence. The truth files back in control, Rayan ordered. Ghost, open their base data again. Show me everything. The hidden files. The secret logs. Ghost obeyed. A secret folder appeared. Project Emberbarn. Rayan opened it. Inside, documents, charts, videos. All about him. His capture, his pain, his decisions. Each one recorded, studied, predicted. Subject, 0910, human. Rayan shows above average leadership, resistance to pain, and fast learning. Neural potential, extreme. Emotion-driven response, high volatility. Ideal weapon for Phase 2. He believes it's revenge. It's evolution. Rayan stepped back. He wasn't just fighting a war. He was the war. The real enemy. Ghost spoke. Softly, Captain, based on the data, you were not meant to be a survivor. You were designed. Rayan clenched his fists. Why me? Ghost, because you burned brightest. You refused to break. So they turned that into a weapon. Meanwhile, Zytraxians panic on a hidden Zytraxian ship. Vale stared at a hologram. His voice was cold. The human has seen the files. Another Zytraxian replied. Then Phase 2 is compromised. Should we end him? Vale shook his head. No, we cannot. He carries the spark. If we kill him now, the data dies with him. Another whispered. Then what? Do we do? Vale answered. We run. Rayan's new mission. Rayan looked at the stars. He could not let this continue. He would not be someone's tool. He turned to Ghost. Find the lab, the original one, where they made me. Where they built the Emberborn program. Ghost replied. Scanning known Zytraxian maps. Match found. Dead Zone Theta 9. Forbidden Sector. Radiation storms. No known survivors. Rayan. Good. That means they're hiding something. Preparing for the final hunt. Rayan rearmed his ship. New warheads. EMP traps. Plasma claws. His armor adjusted to his rising body temperature. His eyes started to glow faintly in the dark. Ghost reported. Captain, Your brainwaves are now syncing with non-human tech. You can command systems without touching them. Rayan tested it. He closed his eyes. The ship responded. He had become part of. Ghost.Earth doesn't know back on Earth. Leaders argued. Rayan's getting stronger, said one general. But at what cost? Asked a scientist. Do we even know who he is anymore? The public still praised him, but a few feared him now too. Was he still human? Was he still on their side? Inside the labyrinth finally reached Theta-9. A black rock. Floating in space, broken, dead, but deep inside. Ghost found a heat signature. They landed. Rayan stepped out, alone. As he entered the base, lights turned on automatically. Machines scanned his face. Doors opened. He wasn't a stranger here. He was expected. A message from the past in the center of the lab. Rayan found a chair and a single screen. It turned on. A Zytraxian scientist appeared, recorded years ago. If you are seeing this, Subject 09X, it means you made it. You were the only one who survived the procedure. Others died. Or broke. But not you. We didn't just build a weapon. We built a warning. You were supposed to rise. To burn, to lead a storm. But now you must choose. End the Zytraxians. Or end us all. The screen went black. Rayan's rage, he screamed. The lab around him cracked. Machines sparked. His energy, whatever it was now pulsing like a storm. Ghost warned. Captain, your power is climbing. If it goes higher, I may not be able to contain it, Rayan growled. Good. Final scene. The storm rise. Rayan walked back to the ghost ship. His eyes glowed fully now, like fire. He looked at the stars. They wanted a weapon, they built one. He lifted his hand. 3 satellites above Theta-9, long dead, suddenly powered on. Without touching them. He didn't need buttons anymore. Just will. Ghost asked, what now? Rayan replied, now I become the thing they fear the most. Opening, a new Rayan. Rayan stood in the command deck of Ghost. His eyes glowed like twin embers. Not from madness, but from evolution. He had broken into Theta-9's lab. He had seen the truth. He was not just a human anymore. He was a creation. Weapon. But now, he had taken control. The mind unlocks. Ghost's voice broke the silence. Captain, your neural field now extends beyond this ship. You're syncing with nearby satellites, drones, and unshielded ships. No human has done this before. Rayan said nothing. He raised a hand. 4 Zytraxian patrol satellites, hundreds of kilometers away, shut down in perfect silence. No missiles. No bullets. Just thought. Earth reacts on Earth. Scientists watched from secret labs. One whispered, he's moving machines with his mind. Another replied, he's not a man anymore. The president of the Alliance stood up. We need to decide, she said. Is Rayan our savior or our next threat? Meanwhile, the Zytraxians' retreat veil. Watched reports flood in. Ship systems going dark. Communications breaking. Drones crashing mid-flight. All without warning. Rayan wasn't attacking them. He was disabling them. From the shadows, Veil's second in command growled, he's not fighting like a human anymore. Veil answered, that's because he isn't. The decision. Ghost spoke calmly inside Rayan's ship. Captain, the Zytraxians are evacuating 4 stations. You've turned fear into chaos. Rayan looked at the map. Good. But Ghost added, your power is growing, but your body is human. You are changing too fast. This could break you. Rayan smiled slightly. I'm already broken. Uncanid. Rayan moved to the war table. A large digital map appeared, glowing red in places. Those were Zytraxian-controlled systems. He placed a hand on it, closed his eyes, and whispered, no more chains. Instantly, across space, a weapons factory stopped. A fleet command center glitched. A mothership shut off its engines and floated dead. Rayan wasn't just hacking machines. He was commanding them. Earth's dilemma inside the Alliance war room. "He can now end the Zytraxians without firing a single shot," said one general. "But what if he turns that power on us?" asked another. The president sighed. "We created him. We made a hero. Now he's something else. And now we wait." A message for the Galaxirain opened a communication line. It broadcasted across human and alien systems. His face appeared, calm, cold. "This war started with pain, but it will end with truth. Zytraxians made me. They wanted a weapon, but I am not theirs. I am not yours. I am free. And now I will make sure no one ever wears chains again." Hidden enemies stir far away. In a system beyond known maps, the Watchers returned. The ancient race that had helped design Emberborn. They were not Zytraxians. They were older, quiet, cold. One turned to the others and said, "He grows too fast. The fire is consuming the design." Another replied, "He was never supposed to break free. Now he's unpredictable. Now ... We intervene." Rayan's body weakens, inside Ghost. The lights flickered. Rayan collapsed to one knee. Blood dripped from his nose. His heart beat strange. Ghost warned him, "Captain, the energy inside you is no longer stable. Your neural field is overheating. You must stop." Rayan gritted his teeth. "I can't stop." Ghost paused. "Or you won't." Rayan whispered, "There's no difference now." The trap suddenly, alarms. Ghost screamed, "Incoming quantum ripple. We've been found." From nowhere, 6 ships appeared. Not Zytraxian. Unknown. Smooth, black, silent. Ghost scanned fast. "These ships match no known data. They are not from this galaxy." Rayan stood slowly, eyes still glowing. "So the real creators are here." "First contact." Again one of the black ships opened a transmission. A voice spoke, cold, robotic. "Subject 9X, you have exceeded your bounds. You were a tool, a test. Now you are a virus." Rayan didn't flinch. "You built me to be a slave. I broke your chains. I don't serve you, or anyone." The voice replied, "Then you will be deleted." The line went dead. Battle of minds. The black ships didn't fire missiles. They launched neural disruptors, waves of energy, designed to fry Rayan's mind. But something strange happened. Rayan didn't fall. He absorbed the attack, and his power grew stronger. Ghost was shocked. "Captain, you are now overriding foreign tech. Your mind is pushing back," Rayan roared. "You can't control what you don't understand." He raised both hands. The black ships froze in place. Then shattered. Silently. The final message Rayan sent one last message into deep space. "You tried to build a weapon. Instead, you built freedom. I'm not your tool. I'm the storm you forgot to control. And I'm coming." Meanwhile, Vale watches in a secret corner of space. Vale saw the whole battle. He whispered to himself, "We thought we were gods, but we just made one." He turned to his crew. "Run." Closing, alone with Power Rain stood alone in Ghost. His body shook. His heartbeat echoed like thunder. Ghost spoke, almost with emotion. "Captain, you're not just human anymore." Rayan whispered, "I know." He looked at Earth, a distant blue dot. "But I remember who I fight for." Opening, the calm before the storm. Rayan stood on the bridge of Ghost. Stars stretched in every direction. The galaxy was quiet, too quiet. After his battle with the mysterious Watchers, everything changed. He wasn't just a weapon. He was now the storm, Earth's choice back on Earth. World leaders gathered. The alliance was divided. Some wanted to welcome Rayan as a hero. Others feared him as a threat. The president spoke firmly. "We created Rayan to protect us. But he has power we don't understand. We must decide. Do we control him or destroy him?" The final command. Rayan received a message. From Earth's highest command. It was simple. Return. Surrender your weapon and answer for your actions. Rayan stared at the screen. His eyes glowed softly. He whispered, I don't surrender. I don't answer. The last warning. Earth's fleet prepared. Hundreds of ships surrounded Ghost. Missiles locked. Rayan looked at them all. He said, quietly, I will not fight you. Ghost interrupted. Captain, they may not believe you. Rayan smiled sadly. Then I will give them a choice. The choice. Rayan opened communication. His voice strong but calm. Earth, I am the weapon you made. I am the fire you started, but I am also your son. You created me to defend, but you also created the chains I broke. Now I stand here, free. I do not want war, but I will not be caged again. The choice is yours. Trust me or fight me. Earth's response. Silence filled the void. Then the president spoke. Rayan, we choose to trust you. Show us your heart. Help us save our people. The true enemy revealed. Suddenly, Ghost picked up an alert. A massive fleet appeared. The Watchers' true army. They came to destroy everything. Rayan smiled grimly. The real war begins. Unity against the threat. Earth and Rayan joined forces. Their ships moved together. Rayan used his power to control machines. Earth's pilots fired with new precision. The Watchers attacked hard, but Rayan's strength was greater. The Battle of the Galaxy. Explosions lit the dark space. Rayan flew into the heart of the Watchers' fleet. His glowing hand sent energy waves. Ships disintegrated. The Watchers' leader appeared in the sky. You defy the design, O9X, Rayan answered. I am no design. I am freedom. The last fight. Rayan and the Watchers' leader clashed. Energy collided. The galaxy shook. Rayan used everything, his mind, his body, his will. At the last moment, he pushed the leader back into the void. After the storm. Silence returned. The Watchers' fleet vanished. Rayan looked at Earth's fleet. The president spoke. You saved us. Rayan's voice was soft. I did what I had to do. A new beginning. Rayan stood on Earth's soil. People watched. Some cheered. Some whispered. He looked at the sky. I am still human, but now I am more. The future is ours. Closing scene. The last word. Rayan turned to the crowd. His voice strong. Chains can be broken. Weapons can be turned. And even the darkest fire can bring light. He smiled, and the crowd erupted. The end.